Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you've been well. Today we're doing a video on, kind of on the Tundra, but not really. Just about the gear that I keep in the Tundra, kind of how I have it loaded out. The van's out here because I'm getting that loaded for a little family trip, taking the family down to Zion National Park, and then filming a thing with Polaris down there as well. So I'll make a weekender lander out of that little trip, so that'll be coming up on the channel soon. But this video is gonna be on truck gear that I keep in my truck. So let me turn the camera around and kind of talk. So here it is, the 2022 Toyota Tundra. If you want more info on the Tundra, check my channel. Have a few videos on that. I'll do a video update soon on the bumper, and I'm gonna be doing some other stuff to it, so stay tuned for that specifically. We're just gonna show what's in the truck basically. So I have a lot of vehicles, obviously. The Tacoma I kind of have loaded out and decked out for camping. I actually just revamped my camping bin and actually made it smaller with less stuff. So I'm gonna do an updated camping bin soon. Got the Sequoia, got a couple Land Cruisers, got the van. All that to say, they're kind of loaded out differently, but the Tundra is my daily driver basically. So the Tundra kind of is, yeah, I'm gonna kind of build it out with bumpers and sliders and everything so I can take it out camping. And it's got the Diamondback. It's opened up on the back with the Yakima track system. So that way I can toss a tent on it and go if I want to. So it's kind of ready to be an overland vehicle, but really a daily driver. So up here, if you can see, I actually have an iCamper X-Cover 2.0 on the Yakima track system, all on a hoist above that. So I back the truck in there, drop that on, and it's ready to go on some adventures. But right now it's just loaded out for kind of daily driving, and I'm gonna show you what I keep inside. Actually, first, real quick, I wanna make a video talking about daily driver considerations, balancing a daily driver with kind of a bug out, go rig type deal, trying to find some happy mediums, some balances. So I'm gonna do like a topical, philosophical, theoretical video on that soon, but this is kind of that vehicle to me. It's a daily driver vehicle. Sorry, I know people don't like when it focuses on my hand and then back on the truck. But this is a daily driver vehicle, but one built out to kind of get me out of trouble if I get into anything or, you know, if anything happens. So it's got a little lift on it, 35-inch tires. These are Toyo Open Country AT3s that I like. I prefer an all-terrain for a daily. But you can see they're a little bit aggressive and, you know, can do some off-roading with them as well. And then got the CBI bumper and the Warn winch here. I like having a winch as well to be able to self-recover, and then also just for random stuff. I need to pull a tree, I need to get somebody unstuck, I need to just move a boulder. I use winches for all kinds of that stuff all the time. And then, yeah, obviously big steel bumper with a bull bar in case, again, I live in the mountains of Colorado. This kind of wide angle exaggerates this grill. Look how big this thing looks. But to help if I hit a deer or something. So that's kind of the exterior of the truck. And then one more exterior feature we'll talk about is the Diamondback. Love the Diamondback because it keeps stuff in my bed secure, out of the weather. I can throw whatever I want back in here and not worry about rain or snow or whatever, or anybody stealing stuff. So I have a cross bin back here as well, which we'll get into in a little bit, but that's basically the exterior of the truck. So let's go in, we'll just start in the front here. So this is a pouch. I left this truck dirty actually. It's kind of all kinds of dirty from Overland Expo. It's kind of used as the base camp for the Diamondback booth. So it's dirty. I left it dirty for you guys too. So I had a lot of questions about what's going on up here, and for good reason. So I have this is actually a Vertex product. This is a little magazine pouch. I don't know that they even make it anymore, but I'll link to it down below if so. But I have it loaded obviously with a bunch of other stuff here. So I have kind of a more powerful Olight flashlight. It's like a Warrior or something. A couple of Sharpies, a little Leatherman rebar. This is actually a gift from Diamondback. Check that out. Sweet. And then a little adjustable wrench in there. a little pencil. This is a Benchmade Triage. Has a seatbelt cutter there, has a glass breaker on the tip, sheep's foot blade, so you can use it to cut things without really stabbing into people as much, and high-vis orange. I kind of like this as a truck type knife there. This is a Surefire, the Stiletto Pro actually, so this is the aluminum body. And this is just some redundancy. I carry a flashlight EDC on body all the time, but if you know something happens, dog runs out, I need to hand a flashlight to Isabella and Ashley to try and chase it down through the woods or something, I like having extras to give out to people, or just, you know, if one of the batteries dies, I wasn't paying attention as much as I should have. This is a little fixed blade knife. It's a SOG something rather. I don't even know. I got it in like some box recently. So just, you know, a decent fixed blade here, a pair of trauma shears in there, and then this is a little headlamp actually, a little super small, like micro, I'm not going to pull it out because I kind of have it nicely stuffed down in here, but this is just an ultra light kind of dual function headlamp. So usually I'll just use a flashlight, but sometimes you just need a headlamp. So I like having a headlamp always at all times. Then pepper spray, because you know my saying, I carry a gun every day, concealed carry on body all the time, 24/7. But not everyone needs a bullet. So there are times when pepper spray is the answer, and that could be with a drunken person, or there's a million things that you might want to use pepper spray for, animals, whatever. And then I have a little ham radio here. This is a little cheapy Baofeng. This is a little dog collar, or a dog leash rather. It's one of these ones that's a slip. So if I find a dog on the road or a stray or something that doesn't have a collar, I can still put a leash around it. And this is just kind of something that I like to have on me at all times. Or sometimes I'll take my dog somewhere and forget to bring a leash, and I'll use this in a pinch. Underneath here, I have a fire extinguisher. It's kind of wedged underneath this whole pouch. This whole pouch, I can just pull it out, get the fire extinguisher. I'll show you, this is an Element fire extinguisher. I have another one in the back, so I'll show you what that looks like in a second. I just don't feel like pulling all this out because I'm literally running out of daylight. You can't tell, but the sun's setting here in about 5 minutes. Wedged in here, I have a little pair of the Gorilla Grip gloves, and none of this rattles. I hate rattles. Ashley will tell you I'm like OCD with rattles for the whole car. Pretty much none of my cars rattle. So this looks like it'll rattle. Actually, I have this thing up here as well. So this was up in the top here. This is a Rescue Me tool, seatbelt cutter, glass breaker. And that's, I don't know, I need to find a better spot for it, but I just have that in there. Usually I'll get like a little visor thing and put it up there, but I don't have one yet. And then miscellaneous keys down there. That's just for my shipping container and some other stuff that I have locked up on the property, and my Diamondback cover as well. So that's kind of down in here. I could put something else over here, but nothing over there. And then there's this other little pocket here that I have a money clip just for some cashola in case I forget my wallet or need some cash for something. Also have some ones if I'm feeling lucky, want to buy a lottery ticket or something. And then actually a couple little headphone things. I was running the excavator or the skid steer or something, and I forgot my muffs, so I just grabbed a set of these. And I was like, oh, I'll just leave them in there if I need some extras. I added this, if you're wondering. This is just some textured vinyl that I wrapped a few piano black components in the truck. With that, underneath here, I actually have a ham radio that I use in a couple vehicles. Let me get it out. So this is a UV25X2. This actually comes with a little cigarette lighter adapter, so you can power that without hardwiring it, or you could hardwire it. So this I need to wire up. I just have it under there to not lose it and just kind of remind me every time I get in my vehicle to do that. So I'll add a hood mount. I do have my ham license, and then this also is unlocked for GMR S frequencies as well, even though don't don't transmit on GMRS with that, but you can in an emergency. So I like that, that there. And then inside here, not much going on. So this doesn't really fit a Nalgene, but I shove it down in there and then it kind of fits. I have a lot of the bigger adapters from my other cars, and I'll probably add one to this eventually, but for now, I'm just kind of rocking it like this. I usually don't have anything up in here all the time, but I'll throw like receipts or little things that I buy or snacks or something up there occasionally. And then in this big glove box is just kind of a mess. I actually saw that they're now selling organizers. So I just bought one, it's not here yet, a drop-in organizer that kind of organizes this area. So I'm gonna do that later, but for now, I just have some miscellaneous stuff, some pens, sunscreen, hand sanitizer, a little lens cloth, snacks, honey stingers, granola bars. I have a little rag in here to just wipe off stuff or whatever. I have my winch remote. I have a tape measure actually, and some gum and some charging cables. And then I have this Olight, which actually, this Olight, which I really like. I forget what it is. I'll link all this stuff down below, but it's basically this light, and it's like a wand here. So you put the little silicone wand on there, and then you can have, you know, little wah, 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 direct traffic if you need to, if something goes down. And it's green, blue, or white, or red, obviously. So that's a cool little flashlight that I keep around. And then I actually don't have anything in the passenger door, nothing at all. That's kind of for Ashley to do as she pleases when she rides with me. Let's just pull out this whole glove box. So I got some extra charging cables, a bunch of stuff here. I got another little set of earplugs here. I got another thing of cashola. This is if I actually go like to the grocery store or something and forget my wallet. I just like having spares, some wet wipes. Up top is just the owner's manual and stuff. Underneath, I have a smaller med kit and some various stuff. Flossers, pills, kind of a basic boo-boo kit that I just kind of built out myself. Then I got some batteries, some 9-volt, little tire gauge, and then I always try to keep AA's and AAA's as well. These are just pills. These are basically ibuprofen and diphenhydramine, which is Benadryl. So if you watch my videos, I keep pills a lot of times if someone gets a headache or has an allergic reaction to a bee sting or something like that. So I kind of just have these little bags everywhere. It's cheaper and easier just to divvy up a bunch of the big bottles into little baggies. And it's not too confusing because I usually just keep the 2 pills in there. And then the only other thing is I get these at restaurants, straws or utensils. Obviously, actually I have this one, which is like a little UCO guy. So this is if I get takeout or a drink or food or whatever and they forget to give me silverware, I always like to have backups. So that all is in the glove box. And there's actually, doesn't even fill it all the way up. There's still more room, but that's kind of what I keep in the glove box. And then in the back seat, I keep one of these towels, like Turkish cotton towels. I don't know, I don't really like these little dangly things, but I like that these towels are really thin. They dry fast, so you kind of use them as a blanket or whatever. And I just have it on the back seat because I just have been throwing stuff. If you've watched my Tundra video, I usually am just by myself in this truck and then I throw a bunch of junk in the back seat, really. So I like the small door. This is the double cab. This is the smaller back seat option, but it works great for throwing stuff. If I'm just getting supplies or exchanging holsters or whatever, I'll do that. So there is storage behind the seats and under the seats, which I'll show you right now. So behind the seat, I just have, you have the factory jack and wrenches and stuff like that. And then I have a soft shackle here. And then behind that seat, I'll show you on the other side, but that's a little toe strap. And then underneath on this side, I have one of these hats, kind of like sun hats. Again, I'll link to all of this stuff on Amazon or wherever I got it from so you can you can get stuff if you'd like. These are actually a pair of snowboard pants that I keep in here. I can probably take them out. I keep them in here for the winter, in case I break down somewhere and have to trek it or work on my vehicle or get under or something. I like to keep a pair of snow pants in the winter, and I do like the ones that have the built-in cuffs when I can get them as well. This is just, I don't know, wasted space, something under here, some box or something. This is actually Toyota's factory first aid kit, which I have in here as well. And then on this side, these are some extra boots that I have. These are old pair of Keens or something, and then an extra beanie. Obviously, I live in the mountains of Colorado, if you've never heard that yet. But inside of these extra boots, I have an extra pair of socks. I have, I think, some hand warmers. I have a pair of gaiters and some other stuff in those boots. So I usually keep those in year round, but again, that's another kind of snow thing. If something happens, I get stuck in a blizzard or something and I'm not quite dressed to trek through the snow, I always have stuff in my truck just in case. So I'll flip around to the other side here. There are no pockets in the back doors of the double cab. That's a bummer. The Crew Max has it, but I wish there was something here because I like having easy access to stuff over here. Try to remember to use one of these little grocery bag type dealios at the grocery store. So let's see here. Behind this seat, I have the tow strap. This is just a little cheapy strap. I have a nicer recovery kit that I usually keep in the Tacoma. This is just some cheap Amazon stuff that I'll probably never use, but I have it just in case. I have a Dark Angel medical IFAK, so this is for the more serious boo-boos, and I keep this behind this seat rather than under the seat because this is easier to fold down and access. If I have stuff on the seat, I can just like shove it and get it. So if I need to get to this full IFAK, that's a little easier. I usually have these a little closer and easier to reach, but right now we have it back there. Then behind here I have some emergency roadside LED flares, a couple emergency vests, and then this is just, if you watch my other videos, you know I kind of like these. This is just little like store in itself backpack. So this is just an extra backpack in case, again, I need to huck it on foot and I want to carry some extra gear. I have this as an extra backpack that I either can toss on Ashley or whatever, or if, you know, for whatever reason, you never know when you need a backpack. So I like to kind of keep an extra handy. So then under this seat is a lot of goodies. So there's a lot of storage space underneath the Tundra. So I keep an extra hat, LLOD baby, Multicam Tropic, under here. And then I keep an extra jacket. So this is actually like an insulated jacket. And then I keep an extra shell. This is like a rain shell as well. Some of this may be overkill, but I got the room for it under the seat. As you can see, it's completely clean in my truck. You can't actually see anything anywhere. It's all hidden under in storage except for that. So I don't like a lot of clutter, but this is kind of loaded to the gills. This is and I have coupon codes with a lot of these companies as well, so I'll link them down below. This is a water filter. This is a pressure water filter, not a pump, not a drip, not a drain, so it's super easy and super fast to use. You fill this inner bottle, this thing slides out, and then you force it down to filter the water, and then you can dump the filtered water into something else. So I really like this filter, so I keep that in there. This is the Element fire extinguisher, so this is the second one that I have. This is what is under here, so it's under that, so I have two of these. These are pretty expensive, but I like how compact they are. And then I got a little Camelback. This is kind of set up. I'm not gonna get into what I have in it. It doesn't have a ton of gear in it, as you can see. It's got a bladder that, again, I can filter water from that and dump it into the bladder if I need to. And it's got a little bit of gear, like water keys, like a minimal get home bag setup here. So if you want me to dive into this, let me know in the comments down below, and I will do that. Then under here, I have a long spoon. This is in a bag. This is one of those long spoons, and I'll show you why in a second. Couple pairs of winter gloves. This is actually a balaclava with some snowboard goggles in there. Again, if it's crazy blizzard, whiteout conditions or something, I have that. And then I have backpacker's pantry, this and this. So this is just some food in case I'm forget lunch somewhere or go camping and forget food, or I'm just stranded and need a bite. Pretty lightweight, lasts forever. It's good. Then I just have a cheap little 5x7 tarp. I like to keep a tarp in my trucks because they're cheap. They can protect you from the weather if need be, and if you need to climb under your car to do something and it's all muddy or whatever, then it'll keep you kind of clean and dry. So having a little tarp is cheap and easy. So this is a little jet boil I keep in here. This has the fuel can and everything inside. And that's obviously if I need to boil water, purify water, but mostly if I want to make this meal or whatever. And I had an extra one, so I figured might as well just keep it in here. I also have a little bit of lighters and like a little bit of mini fire starting kit in there. Have a bottle of water, and this is, don't drink this. This is windshield washer fluid. So this is the washer fluid. So I just keep it in this bottle because if you've ever driven in kind of blizzard, salty, gross conditions and you run out of wiper fluid, you're gonna have a real bad time. So I always keep some extra in there, either to just, you know, I usually top myself up, like I usually do that. So this is, you know, if somebody else runs out, or if, you know, I run out, have some extra, and then some water in here at all times. And then the last two items in here, actually I'll get out. So this is really cool. Fantik sent me both of these. I've actually bought these in the past. These are my favorite jump starters probably. They're just super, super nice. And this is new to me. This is a tire inflator. So here it is, the Fantik X8 portable tire inflator. I really like this thing. So it's battery powered. I like that. You don't need any wires. So if I need to go fill up somebody else's tire, I just bring this and fill it up. The hose actually just screws in to the top right here. There's like ball adapters and everything as well, but super compact. This isn't going to be like a device you use to air up 40-inch tires all the time or anything like that. But for an emergency, in a pinch or whatever, you can use it. You can set the PSI here to whatever you want, and then you hit it, and it'll keep going until it reaches that PSI limit, and then it'll shut off. Also has a flashlight as well. Pretty, you know, pretty decent flashlight, and also has like SOS mode. And then you can use it as a battery pack, so you can charge your cell phone or whatever off of it, and then you can charge it from USB-C as well. Really cool piece of kit. And this is the Fantik T8 Apex jump starter. So if you've watched any of my vehicle gear videos, you know this is one of my most important pieces of kit, because if you're stranded somewhere, you jump start yourself. If you leave lights on, something happens, battery dies, you don't need somebody else to jumpstart you. But I always use these more often than not to jumpstart other people. So I don't need to pull my car over if it's in a weird parking space, make sure my jumper cables are long enough, all this stuff. No, I just walk this right on over and save the day for someone. So this is actually a big beast of one. This also has a flashlight, ooh, super bright, and it has SOS mode and stuff like that, and also just red flashers. So if you just need to use this as a roadside flare or whatever, then you can set that up and flash it. So it's kind of a multi-use thing. Also can be used to charge your phone or whatever. So it has power output, and you also obviously charge it up from here as well. And it actually comes with super high quality cables, so for charging other stuff and for charging it. And then the actual alligator clip cable. So this plugs into the unit, and then you basically just jumpstart your car. There's a couple different modes where you can jumpstart like a totally dead battery, but normally you just hook it right on up, turn it on, and it'll charge the battery enough to jumpstart it right away. This actually comes with a super nice wall outlet charger and a cigarette charger as well. and a little manual, and obviously just a super nice case. So again, Fantik did send these out, but I've actually bought them in the past, and I just think they're just super high quality units, and they've always worked when I've needed them to. So that's the back seat. The front seat, so we're done with the cab, and this video is getting long, and I feel like I'm going fast. But back here is kind of nice. So we got the cab lights in here. It actually shines off of the raw aluminum Diamondback and basically like lights up this whole area. So this whole setup with Diamondback, super nice. So this is called a crossbin right here. So this can hold a bunch of stuff. I just have some random stuff in here. I have a towel just to kind of keep this stuff from rattling around and sliding too much, but I have a set of max tracks, a shovel, an axe, my Fisker's axe. And that fits, if you can tell, in the middle portion. So there are two side portions here and on the other side, and then a bigger middle portion. This is the 13-inch crossbin, though probably I would opt for the 8-inch. It's a little bit shallower. You can see here, basically you can still fit long stuff full length of the bed, but this is super, super deep. Actually, let me get that tape measure. So this is a 13-inch crossbin. It's called a 13-inch because it's about 13 inches from the deepest portion to about where your top of your bed is. So 13 inches deep. So anything that's 13 inches in height will fit under the Diamondback cover. And then it's about 19 inches wide. And the middle portion on a Tundra anyways is about 45 3/4 inches wide or long, depending on what angle. So that can fit quite a bit. Again, probably I'll go to the 8-inch, and the 8-inch is obviously about 8 inches from the base up to the rack. And these little side panels are 8 inches. So I just have some random stuff over here, gloves. I had a bunch of tools in this thing that I actually just left in my shipping container now at my property. But just some miscellaneous stuff in here. And then on the other side, I just keep a cheap little kind of knockoff Helinox chair, like having chairs whenever possible. And this is actually a little multicam tarp that I have back here. I don't actually have this thing that loaded out, so you could do a lot with it, but that's just kind of a quick sample. And then the cover just closes on top of that. So basically you have an accessible toolbox that is just up here that you can access easily and keep all of this kind of weather sealed off stuff, but still have big full use of your bed. Obviously, like I mentioned before, you can fit stuff down there, full length of the bed. A tall thing is gonna hit that. So I think I'm gonna swap this 13-inch for the 8-inch, but yeah, a really cool utility item that when you don't have a tent on top and you can use a Diamondback like a Diamondback is meant to be used, adds a lot of extra utility. So that's super cool. And then back here, I just have another pair of random boots and some tie-down straps that I kind of keep back here. I like these kind of self-ratcheting ones just because they're super quick and easy, and time is money. Back here, hanging off of the cleat on the side channel is a tool roll. Let me pull that off. So this, again, I'll link to all this stuff. So I kind of like it up there because it's just tucked on the side, out of the way, not taking up any real space. I have a couple of these Allen keys that I keep in here for the Yakima rack system. And then so this I actually haven't really loaded out. It's like mostly empty. I was just kind of proof of concepting something and seeing how tool roll fits up there because I liked the idea of just kind of keeping it up out of the way. So I just have some basic tools in here, some screwdrivers, some wrenches, a pair of lineman pliers, and then a socket set. And that's pretty much it for now. So I'll probably flesh this guy out a little bit more. But again, this truck, I'm just kind of trying some new things out as far as organization. And I don't know, I just thought this was really cool to kind of take up unused space and then just be able to pull it out on the old tailgate and access whatever you need. So I'll probably add some more junk in here, but that's kind of what it is for now. Sweet. Whew. As you can probably see, well, you can't, like, it's dark out. I have a little light here from my porch that I'm using to illuminate myself. This is serious YouTube business going on. Anyway, that's the truck Loadout. Let me know if I'm missing something, if I really need to add some stuff, if you have like a great idea that I think I could implement, or if you're just like, you keep way too much stuff in your truck, bro. That's cool. You can think that as well. But again, like, I don't know if you saw like the before, there was nothing. Like, seats were empty, floors were empty, there's nothing out. It's all tucked away in its proper thing. And again, I have so much more room to put in the cross bin and then still have a totally empty bed to haul stuff and whatever. So that's the setup I like for this truck. Again, my daily driver, I'm building a house, so I'm gonna be using this for just that kind of stuff. A lot of people had concerns with the Diamondback cover. It really just comes off with 4 bolts in here. So you can remove each of these panels and remove the center section. You can take the whole cover off by yourself in probably 5 to 10 minutes. If you have a friend, even faster. So I can load stuff on top of the Diamondback cover, but I love having it because I just, again, like to be able to put stuff in here and not worry about it. If I'm going shopping and buying a bunch of stuff, everything is locked up. If I'm going to another store, I don't have to worry about it. So love that setup. Hope that was good. Again, I was kind of rushing through it. I was rushing through it to try and beat the light because very dark now. So we're leaving again, going to Zion in the Jayco. That video is going to come up soon. I am going to do a updated camping bin video. Here's the Sequoia actually real quick. So the Sequoia, I put on 33-inch tires. Relations race wheels are 7 bronze. I actually lifted the front 2 inches, Bilstein 5100s, and I need to do the back still. So it's like sitting on a slope right now, so maybe a little exaggerated, but the back, it's squatted a little bit, so I need to raise that. So I have the coils and new shocks for that. And I'll give you a Sequoia update soon, but it's, I love this thing too. Sweet, so that's all guys. I gotta get packing and stuff for our trip tomorrow, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it gave you some ideas, some inspiration, some things. Again, you don't need to build out your truck exactly like this, but if you got an idea or two out of it, awesome. I'll link to everything down below. A lot of those links are gonna be affiliate links. I really appreciate you clicking on them. It's kind of how I support what I do here, giving you guys free videos, so click the links. I have a bunch of coupon codes as well, LLOD.US/coupons if you wanna save some money. Cool. All right, guys, until next time, take care.